Well, welcome back to Rich Adventures. Today we're going to be adding mud flaps to our truck. So I got these Husky mud flaps. Instructions are, but it doesn't look too hard, except for they give you this film that you need to put on top of the paint to keep the mud flap from rubbing the paint off. So I got to figure out how to stick that on there. First things first, got to clean it, and then we'll see if we can't get that done. Okay, first thing I did was I turned the wheel so I have better access, and there's two screws right down here. They take 7/32 socket. I've already taken one out. And second one is almost out. And there we go. Got that. Now we're going to wipe that down. Clean this all up. And the mud guard, if I get the right one, actually is going to fit right over all of this, just like that. You can see. So this film should fit. It's already pre-cut. I just haven't taken it off yet. Let's go ahead and get that off of there. May not be that easy. Let's see. That's kind of tough. Just getting it out. You can't get it with your fingernail. All right, let's try something else. I took a razor blade and got it to scrape off. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Yeah, you can see it on there. There's oh, and I cut it in half so that I got a left and a right. You see the lines on that? There's actually pre-cut lines that are supposed to be able to separate the actual part that you use from the part that you don't use, and I'll be darned if I can get it to separate. I'm not really sure how that's supposed to work. You would think it would just come apart. Right here maybe. You see right there, it's really, really thin. The piece that is, I don't know, it's hard to see. See how that comes up at an angle on this, on this side over here, and tapers off. Well, right in the middle where I cut them apart, they basically come together, but I just can't get that thing to let go. It's like that cut doesn't even exist. And there definitely is a shape to it. You see how right above my thumbprint that is supposed to come over? Huh, I don't know what the heck the deal with that is. I would have thought that it would just come apart right at that seam, and it is very sticky, so it makes it kind of hard to deal with. Anyway, I think this goes on where that curve is. It goes on right like that, and you're supposed to put it on there, but I'll be darned if I can get it to separate properly. Think about just putting the whole thing on there like it is. Let's see. Well, one thing it says you're supposed to do is you're supposed to wet this. You're supposed to wet the back of the adhesive to make it work, but I'm just going to wet that. And I don't know, this is not going to be I don't think it's going to work the way I want it to. Okay, so I cut out, I scribed along the edges of where the cutouts are and cut that out. And hopefully you can, yeah, there's no way you can see that, but yeah, maybe you can. It's on there. Now I'm going to double check to make sure it covers the paint. Doesn't stick out like it's supposed to, so maybe I need to pull it out a little bit before the adhesive sets up. Okay, well, I'm going to give this part a low rating because, man, it would have been nice if this actually came out of the paper the way it should, the way it's shaped. All right, so that one's going on just like that. Okay, got that on there. Not as nice as I'd like to have, but it's on there. So we're gonna hold this up. Got some sticky stuff here to help hold it in place. We're gonna peel that off. Get this up where it needs to be on the bottom. And reinsert these two screws right in the holes that it comes from the factory with. Line it up. It's not an easy task, and I've also heard these screws can be too short. They did provide other screws, so maybe I have to go to these. They are a tiny bit longer, maybe. Maybe. Of course, trying to get it in the right spot is not easy either. Okay, so I got one in. All right, that seems pretty good. And they give you these little clips that you can put right over this to make sure it holds it. It's supposed to be mounted right there. It's actually marked on the plastic vinyl, I guess, where it goes. Not easy to put on with your fingers. I may have to get a tool. Yep, gonna have to get something. I think I figured it out, so I'm gonna take a screwdriver and just put it in here and pry it a little bit as I work it onto the plastic. Yeah, that's gonna get it. And now I should be able to shove it the rest of the way on there. Little retaining clip may actually hold it better than the screws. It seems like it's on there. I gotta tell you though, I wish these screws gave me more confidence. That one definitely tight. Okay, what do you think? Looks pretty good. I'll do the other side and then I'll come back to you and we'll do a back one. Let's check wheel clearance while we're at this. I'm gonna go in there and turn that wheel the other way. Looked pretty good, didn't it? Here we are on the back. So we got back mud flap. It's a little bit different because these aren't bolts in here or screws. They're those automotive push thingies, whatever you call them. I don't know what you call them, but I do know this. I don't have the right tool to get them out. One of those little crowbar gizmos designed for this. So, razor blade. Just go in there, cut the head off, and pop it through the back, through the other one. Just like that. Pop that through. Yeah, made quick work of those. Obviously, those are for the recycle bin. This stuff, the paint protection stuff, is really good in theory. But I gotta tell you, in application, I gotta give it about a D because they don't really score it properly in the plastic. So the only way to get it out is you really have to go in there with a razor blade and cut it up. You actually have to follow the trace that you can see and score it yourself, which is kind of dumb, you know? I mean, you can see right there, that's where it was supposed to be scored. And I had to follow that trace with the razor blade. Not really sure why they didn't do a better job of prepping that. So, and then when you do trace it, invariably, you don't get it exactly right. And the prep solution for this is just some soapy water. I did cheat a little because I've already done the other side. So, got a pretty good idea where everything goes. Just like that. Let's see how that fits real quick. I can pull it back a little bit while it's still got, before it actually sets up. If you do pull it back, you probably want to put more moisture under there if it doesn't stay wet enough. That's pretty good. Yep. Yeah. Rub those bubbles out. Just like that. stinging bubble right there. That ain't gonna come out, but it is definitely gonna be hidden behind that mud flap, so I'm not overly concerned about it. All right, now this side, since those were the pop-in things, they give you the backings, and you just gotta go in here and make sure you get it on the metal. You can get it pretty much positioned where you need it to be. Push those down. About there. Yeah, typical lazy guy, not going to get a hammer for a hammer's job. All right, take off the tape. A little hard to get off. Yeah, it's because I don't have much for fingernails, I guess. Take that off. Get this thing lined up. Make sure it's dry where the tape's going. And take some of the bolts that they supplied me. Right into that grommet that they supplied me. Just gonna snug that one up first. Put the other one in before I tighten it down. Oh yeah, right in there. Now, I got a problem. Too long a screwdriver. I guess I'm gonna have to fix that. Well, let's get this other one while we're at it. All right, nice and tight. And again, they provide these clips. And if you don't want to use the clip, they actually give you enough of the metal grommets. I don't have one sitting here. But you can put a metal grommet up here and drill a hole, right? Drill a hole first, drill a hole, put a metal grommet in and do it that way. I'm going with the metal clips. They'll do the job. And I got it right here anyway. So I just gotta spread that out and push it on. And if I ever wanted to, I could go back and add those metal clips too. All right, I just got to get a small screwdriver and tighten these up on both sides, and it'll be done. Let's take a look and see what you think. Not bad, huh? Pretty good protection. Other side. Looks pretty good. And the front one on this side. All right. That concludes the Husky Mudflap installation. I would give it probably I don't know, an 8, 8.5. It could be a little bit better. The product could be a little bit better. But overall, it's a decent fit, not too hard to put on. We'll see how well they protect from rocks getting thrown up and dirt and mud and all that kind of stuff. A little concerned that these in the back aren't quite low enough now that I got it on here, because after all, I'm trying to make sure I don't throw rocks at the trailer. And yeah, that's a little disconcerting. It's gonna keep rocks from hitting the underside of the truck, but I don't know. We'll have to see. All right. Thanks for watching, and until next time. Bye.